Okay, boom. So we're back. It's another day. It's been like a weekend, honestly, couple days. But we're back. We also got our next plasma came in. We now have issue number 9. So we have 9, 8, and of course my partner's on 7. So got my mags, got my posters. Anyways, we're back. I had to go get some more stuff for the build. Also, just kind of went out of town, had some things to go do. But we're back now, so it's time to get back to finishing the ledge. So we left off with setting tiles and figuring out I kind of figured out where and how I wanted everything set up. So I'll kind of break that down to y'all and then we'll get into it. But yeah, got some new tiles, bro. I'm pretty sure I showed you already, but just look at these, bro. They're just so nice, and they're ceramic. And they just, they just sound so good in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, and they're the same tiles, the same kind of material for the tiles that I use for my other ledges that I built. If you haven't seen those shorts or that TikTok, you should definitely check that out. But yeah, all right, yeah, these ledges, same kind of tile. So, anyways, I'm finna go ahead and get into all that, and then yeah, so without further ado, let's get building. Okay, so boom. So what we're gonna do first is make a 3 block long by 4 block high ledge base, and then if you want to make it easier to skate both ways, I would do a 3 by 3. I feel like it's a little hard to skate coming both ways when it's a little bit taller. And then so next you're gonna make 3 stacks. You're gonna have 1 stack that's 9 blocks tall, one that's 11 blocks tall, and one that's 13 blocks tall. And as you can see, there's a 2 block difference between those. So if you made the shorter ledge, just go ahead and take the 2 blocks out of those. And then what you're going to do after that is take those 3 towers and glue them together like a staircase, and then that'll be your base for your down ledge and your other ledge for your hubba. So we now have our ledge, our top ledge done for our hubba. I'm just going to go up here, and then our actual hubba ledge is now done. I still have to go cut this in half, and then I'm going to set one here, one here. Okay, so now you want to cut a single block in half and sand one corner of it down. This will help the angle of the ledge from being too aggressive. You want to place half of that block in front of the first step with the flat part facing out. Okay, that's going to give you the angle you want for your down ledge. Then you're going to very carefully line up your ledges to make sure that they meet flush at the top. So you'll see you'll probably have overhang on your top ledge. That's fine. You want it to be flush with the down ledge. You can worry about that later. So you want to kind of line them up, and then you're going to go ahead and glue your top ledge together, and you want to let that set first because that'll give you exactly where you want your bottom ledge lined up. You're then going to take your bottom ledge and you're going to use the liquid nail just like you did for the top. You're going to place it on there. You want it thick because you want it to grip to the tile, and then you're going to set that down. You're going to want to make sure to kind of leave those. You have time and space to kind of move them around to get them where you want. So I use the liquid nail because it takes longer to cure, so you can kind of move it, make sure it stays in the right area and it stays, flush or whatnot. I also took a little bead and rubbed it across the seam just to keep the tiles from separating on the ledge. The ledges we put together last night, we now got them put together with the actual tiles on top. So the bank, I'm using this at the flat bottom, kind of like how you go to an actual ramp, or if you go to a skate park, you have that little metal on the bottom of the ramp, kind of to help with the angle of the wood. So I'm going to do that, and then I still got to build the post and the gate or the fence or whatever the fuck. So, but yeah, I gotta let that dry, so that I don't knock anything out of where it needs to be. Because right now it's all 100% where it needs to be. So I wanted to go ahead and cure so it can be solid and set, and then we'll go ahead and start building up the base for our bank. And then bam, we should be done. So I got the wall kind of mocked up. I went ahead and put some braces on the back so that it doesn't fall in here because it's just too short, and I'm gonna glue all this together. Okay, so as you can see, kind of got it all lined up. I started to go glue it all together. We pretty much came out 6 blocks from this back wall, and then I went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here,
and then 2 more from here. And these are just going to be a base so that when we set this down, that's something to rest on. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'm going to fill this area up with rocks and grass, so it's kind of like a little planter. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to glue the actual base of the bank down, and then we should be pretty much done. We just got to lay the base plate for the metal, and then the poles. So. Okay, boom. I know y'all see that. Got a little garden or whatever, little foliage and shit. It's gonna be under the ramp, so you're not really gonna see much of it. But like, even when it's on there, you know what I'm saying? Let's see, I turn the flash on. Hold on. Yeah, you see, well, you can still kind of see. You get a light in there, you can see all the way to the back of it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyways, go ahead and glue that in there. I went a little overboard, but like, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I got plenty of moss. This shit's $1. You know what I'm saying? Um, but now they gave me an idea for like a stair set like this, or like just like a gap like this, where it's just like I can open. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, I need to go ahead and finish putting the rest of this together. Oh, that's gonna look so sick. Um, I am running into some issues. I forgot that this was supposed to be this way, just so I could escape this easier. So now I'm gonna have to escape this fakey and switch, just because it's a little hard to reach over this, escape this. I'll figure it out eventually, but I don't know. We'll see. So hey, first time building stuff, you figure shit out. Sometimes things work for good shit, sometimes they don't. But anyways, we're gonna see how it goes. I might not even put the gate on, but I kind of do want to put the gate on. I feel like it adds, because I feel like this is empty, you know. And if I had, that right there, and then imagine like a little chain hanging from that. Yeah. Anyway, sick. Okay, so let's get it done. I'm gonna start out by putting some beads like on the corners of these, pretty thick with the nail, just because. The reason I'm doing a thick bead like this is because when I go press the ramp down, I'm not sure exactly what angle it's going to touch these blocks. So I want it to have enough to grab on and push where it needs so it can get a good solid connection. And there's probably better ways to do this, but like I said, we're doing all this on a budget. This liquid nail's free. It's been in this house since my first build. Still haven't used all yet. I'm looking almost on the end of this. And we built a lot of things with it. So 1, 2 will go a long way. And the goal is to make sure this is lined up. I'm gonna let that go ahead and set, cure, dry, so I don't fuck it up. And then I will see you guys when I get back. Okay, so boom, we finished, but I realized there's not really much run up for a landing space. So I've been kind of sitting here like brainstorming what I'm going to do. And I think I came with an included. I think I came up with an idea that's going to require not a whole bunch of work and is still manageable. Where I don't have to tear apart the whole fucking obstacle. I only need about one more
of these worth of space. Realistically, it'll add just that extra little, it'll probably be about that much more space, and then that's extra landing. And you set up all the way back here, and hit the ledge, and then this would be farther over. So, unfortunately, I mean, I could probably still skate it on my desk, possibly. We'll see. It might just be an obstacle I have to set out on the table, but trying to make it fit on my desk kind of ran into the problem with it being too small to actually skate. Okay, boom. So y'all probably finna hate me because it's been a couple months since we started shooting this video, but because this took so long to figure out, I've been trying to figure out how to bust this down. I finally figured out, found my rubber mallet, used that to kind of just tap the seams and break the connection for the super glue. Worked pretty well. Um, so we got it separated exactly where I needed to separate it at, which is perfect. So what we're going to do now is I cut this to the size already I needed to. We're going to set this up over here with some more walls. Um, and then yeah, it's going to be a little bit off. There's going to be a slight gap in between the walls. We're going to probably do something like more moss or something, just add some more scenery to it, kind of close it all off. But the only way to make it functional is to go ahead and extend it. And so that's what we're going to do. So, my tripod broke while I was in Birmingham. So I'm not gonna really have the angles to show y'all kind of how I do this like I did the last few times. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that done and then get back to you once I've got everything glued together and we'll kind of finally look over the final product. All right, so like I was saying before, we just had to extend it. As you can see, it's got a little more space to it now. I'm sure you'll see it in the last clip. Because what we're running into is I had no run up for this. Like you would literally land and then be in the gate, right? So we fixed that. So now you got enough run up to start back here, pop you a trade. You know what I'm saying? Or come up here, pop you a trade, and then bam, over the top. So I'm finna go ahead and finish putting all these chain blocks together. Like I said, the wall fitment isn't as flush as I want it to be. As you can see, there's just a little bit of a gap right here, and it's too big for me. It's too small for a block, and I honestly just don't feel like doing anything like to make it all like flush, and I don't feel like cutting wood and shit to stack up. So what we're just gonna do is I'm probably gonna put a piece of wood behind this or something, and then fill it up kind of like I did with this, and do some more greenery and shit. So, anyways. I'm finna go ahead and get back to doing that and show y'all when it's done and then get a couple of little tricks on it and then yeah. Okay, boom. So we got one side done. It's kind of crooked. I honestly don't care at this point. I'm just ready for this thing to be done. If I would have done it right the first time, I wouldn't have to take it apart and it would be all crooked. But I'm gonna make it work. It's sturdy though, so I just had to add some non-sliders on the bottom to clear in some of the space. But I'm finna eat because my food is here, and yeah, and then we'll get started on the rest of this shit.
Pair of scissors because I need to grip the board. Check the thing.
Okay, boom, and just like that, as you can see, we're done. I still got to do the finishing touches, obviously, like the little grass and stuff, and I gotta add a little more support right there. But we're done, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish all that up, and then get some clips on it for y'all, and then we'll talk about it. So yeah. Okay, boom. So, as you can see, it's the end of the video. Sorry it took so long for me to get this out. As you can see in the video, I've been racking my brain. So to break it down, it cost us around, I think, roughly like $25 or so to make the entire project. So, as you can see, so you got $25 some time, you can get it done. Yeah, I think we spent about $6 on blocks. I think it was like 4 on glue. I think 7 on the towel we bought was like $7 or so. It was like $4 on moss and rocks, and then those metal plates were $1, and then $3 on planks. So about $25 altogether. So not super expensive by any means. Still cheaper than some of these fingerboard decks that you'll buy. So keep that in mind. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm trying to do more videos like this in the future. I also plan on selling some actual obstacles that you guys can pick up. So stay tuned for that. Those will be posted on my brand pages, Instagram. So I'll have all those linked in the description. Appreciate you guys for watching. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube shit. And I'll see you niggas in the next one, man.